You tuned into another episode of Not the Average Local Rapper, hosted by yours truly, Eshore Rich. This episode, I'm going to talk about authenticity, how important it is to be authentic as a rapper. Um, and I think, where it starts is a lot of it depends on like your demographic for real. When you have a younger crowd, it's more about I guess like the influence that you have on them. Like especially nowadays, the younger crowd and the younger artists are into what they into, and a lot of that it comes with what young people go through, trying to prove shit, feeling like they, need to fit a certain persona to, be considered real, so to speak. And then you got, like the older demographic who I guess just kind of, it varies, I guess, but, because you got older people that, still listen to like the younger type of music, but then you got like the older crowd that kind of is more locked in with like the traditional hip hop. I like to, say more like I would say like 35 and up, you know what I mean, at this point. The ones that was like, grew up on 90s rap and shit like that. So yeah, the demographic is like a big part of it. And I think it's just like it comes down to like how I would kind of describe authenticity and as far as like being a rapper, I think it's like I would say, in my personal opinion, it's like, three different types of rappers, you know what I mean? That's kind of like, what that comes down to. You have the rappers that spit what they live. You got the rappers that live what they spit or want to or eventually do or whatever the case may be. And then you got the fake ones, the ones that's just fucking lying about it. So, I mean, very distinct differences with all of them. I guess, I just, in my opinion, like I said, all this shit, subject to my opinion and my thoughts, but I'll just break down, like the significant differences between the three. The rappers that spit what they live, I'll start with that. I'll definitely say that's like the lesser of the evils, if you will. Like, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say any of that shit is. I ain't gonna say any of it. Not all of it is evil, Especially rappers that spit what they live. Like that's a category that I would put myself in, just because like we the ones that we literally making songs about, the life that we live, everyday issues, the shit that we go through, the shit that we've been through in the past, anything, that just regards to like, everyday life and just being able to put it into your music. I mean, it can be good, it can be bad, it don't mean just because it's like authentic don't mean it's always like good or or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I think just the ones that spit what they live. A dog snoring in the background. I don't know if that's picking up on the mic, but yeah, the ones that spit what they live. Yeah, it just comes down to that, man. Like it's kind of self-explanatory. Like I think those are the ones that connect with their supporters the easiest. Like when you can make songs that relate to like shit that people that don't rap go through. That's always a plus. Because everybody ain't living the rapper life or the flashy life or the gangster life or the club life or the ratchet female life or whatever these rappers is on now. So it's like it's cool to have I mean, it's cool to have a balance. You know, you need all that shit that I just named. You need all of that, you know, in this game because you know it's an audience for all of it. So it's like, why not, man? Shit, I don't really knock anybody that make any type of music. You know, as long as it ain't hurting nobody and you know really like strongly offending nobody. Do what you do for real. But I think we need the artists that make the shit that people can connect with, like just living everyday life though. So I think when it come down to authenticity, the rappers that spit what they live, probably gonna be the more authentic of the three. I mean, um, and then you got the rappers that live what they spit or want to or try to. And some may be thinking like, well, what's the difference between a rapper that spit what they live and a rapper that live what they spit? Well, let me break that down. The rappers that live what they spit, I I say that because it could be more about like sometimes especially once again, I don't mean to be biased or point at any particular type of artist, but like the younger artists, they tend to want to prove shit. I mean, naturally, when you're at a younger age, you always want to like prove shit and make your name and build your reputation and all that. So I think just depending on like the direction you're going in with your music, a lot of these artists they feel like they want to make the music that's already popular, the shit that people are already listening to. They feel like they just want to put their twist on it and kind of already fall in a lane that is existing and shit. You're falling in a lane that's already existing and shit. Which it's understandable. It's probably like the shorter route, but I guess the thing with that is time and time again we've seen where rappers will crash out, or rappers will put themselves in situations that they ain't really ready to handle because they felt like they had to start living a certain way because they was rapping a certain way, even though they chose to rap that way first. It's one of them things where it's like, if you keep talking about something and keep putting certain energy out there, like there's gonna be a point where you get called out on it, and people really going check your temperature and see what type of time you're on. So it's like when you get put in them type of situations, I imagine that it's like you got like a choice to make. You either gonna live up to the expectations that those questioning have of you, or you just gonna freeze up and prove to be a fraud. So I mean, it's real obvious what most would try to do in that situation. It's just a matter of the type of predicament it's gonna put you in afterwards. So I mean, I think that's what it comes down to, and that's the difference between a rapper that's spitting what they live and a rapper that's living what they spit. Like you can start spitting first, and that shit might not be matching up. So it's like you got to do things that start making it match up and shit. So, and then of course you just got the ones that's just faking it till they make it, man. And it's always gonna be them. Like I said, you need a balance of everything, man. We don't need a bunch of like the same shit. Like the fake gonna make you appreciate the real. The negative gonna make you appreciate the positive. And excuse me, that's just how that goes. So I mean, it's real obvious, like with the fake shit. It ain't too many people that's really for it or supporting it. But at this point, with the way things are, and like I'm trying to be real careful, not to even mention any artists, as an example, because that's just something I'm trying to really stay away from. doing this type of shit because, like opinions are opinions, but it's like when you start involving other people who ain't got shit to do with shit, or even if you are using it as an example, it's like they don't need to be thrown in the mix. But so I'm just trying to, do my best to not really like kind of like use actual people as examples, but we'll just say in the case of fake rappers, there's, been quite a few artists in the past that have been proven to not be what they claim to be, and the results of that were very detrimental to their career. And then, you got some artists who, once again, proved to not be what they claim to be, and the shit really had no bad effect on their career. It may have even built their career up to a certain point, past where they was at. And as fucked up as that may sound, that's just kind of like how the business works, Motherfucker, I realized, like, this music shit is a business at the end of the day. So it's like, when it come to, like, what certain artists and certain people be willing to do to obtain what they feel they need to obtain, like the measures they take, man, you you can't really push shit past motherfuckers. So, with that being said, I think, a lot of these rappers will, make the decision to just, fake it till they make it, and, fake it until it ends, basically. It's like, a lot of people know how to fake and lie about shit and cover it up for so long, but then when it's like, when it finally get uncovered and the truth finally come to the light, it's like, are you gonna be ready and willing to deal with the consequences of that? So I think, it's something that anybody who ain't really speaking on, real shit in their music, and, like, real shit don't have like a certain topic or concept. It's just a matter of if it's real or not. And it ain't even got to be real in the sense of you actually did it or you actually lived it. It's just a matter of is it the truth, Like, it's a difference between saying people doing certain things around my way and I'm doing certain things around my way. It's a big difference in them statements, you know what I mean? I don't want to get too far and use, real examples, because, like, one thing about me now, man, I'm trying to really, push, like, the positivity and, like, the positive messages, man. It's so much negative and toxic shit in this culture, in this genre, and I'm not, like, an angel by any means, like, it's things in my past, rap related and non-rap related, that I ain't, necessarily willing to glorify anymore. But with that being said, like, once again, like, authenticity comes from, speaking on, shit that you've been through and that you relate to, that can ultimately connect with the listeners. That's what makes great artists. And you have people that make good music and music that sounds good, but if the authenticity isn't there, then it's just really just a matter of how strong is it in other areas. And that's fine. Like, when it comes to, like, certain shit, club songs don't have to, have real life facts in them, and just a lot of certain songs don't really have to. But the ones that are aimed towards giving off that message, like, the facts got to be the facts, or, like, it damages the validity and the authenticity, and that's just something that, like, I don't think an artist can really afford at the end of the day. If you want to be taken serious and, you want to have some type of credibility, I would make the assumption that, authenticity would be at the top of the list for most artists, but I can't speak for most artists. I can only speak for myself and the ones that I directly deal with. I don't really deal with artists that represent bullshit at the end of the day. At least not to my knowledge, but um, and if I do, it'll get handled accordingly. So, with that being said, I think um, if if there was an artist out there, that was listening to this, and they got off to a start where it was just not really speaking on things that you feel like are yourself, but it's making good music. Um, I would I wouldn't tell you which way to go. Honestly, I can't tell you what you shouldn't or should do, but I would just strongly suggest to reevaluate the long lasting effect that you want to have. You can go the route of just making good music, not really caring about the authenticity or the facts of it, or um, the type of energy that it may bring back on you. If that's not an issue, then hey, it's not an issue. But like I said, long lasting. I think the further you get along, the more people will start checking for you, and you're gonna have people that are gonna be checking for authenticity, validity, um, credibility, and the likes of such. Um, but I'm pretty much talking in a circle at this point, so I guess case in point of this one, man, is just I mean, for one, always recognize what you in it for, as an artist. And once you determine that, like it'll kind of let you know, like how important it is to be authentic to you as an artist, or as a listener. It'll help you determine how important it is for you listening to who your favorite artist is. So yeah, man. I'm gonna leave it with this though. If you listen to me on this podcast, or if you listen to my music, you can expect authenticity from me. This is Reg. You've tuned into another episode of Not the Average Local Rapper. I appreciate it, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.